Alright, good morning. Ready to get into it. It's a bit noisy here, but the fan's going. It's raining outside, but it's very, very humid. So, but I've already filled these. Actually, probably overfilled it a little bit, but it's still, you still see the top of the oil. Same there. And couldn't get any really cheap oil because it's only slow moving, but I've got some full synthetic Penrite 5W30. There'll be more than enough. And I stole one of the wife's sauce bottles to get the oil in. So that's all in. Ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm going to do now is sort some of this out. I'm going to put one of those shafts in, well, not one of them, that one, the front one, and start marking it out, see what's going on. So stay tuned and I'll put you in the stand. Okay, I did this off camera. It was just easier. Got it set up in there, and I touched up again. I went around it a couple of times. I touched up again here. That's the high side, so I set that at 0. That's point. It says plus 0.1, but that's plus that way. 0.26. Say 0.6, 0.59. In that way, further than that. So what I'll probably do is set the vise up on the mill, dial it in, and then I'll put this in and use this to touch. I'll do a clean-up cut because I'm not sure exactly what my taper is. Do a light clean-up, set the 0, and then I'll go around and do them all to 0. So that way I'll know if I can get that to work, because when I'll do that, then I'll take it out, I'll bring it over here, put it back in here, test it again. So once we know that works, then I can continue on. I can get this down to size, and then I can look at machining that one and get it down to size. It'll be interesting to give this mill a whirl. And I've got to take that because it's running way too fast at the moment. Just let me turn him on. And as you can see, I took this friggin' horrible guard off. Yeah, it should be okay. That's going flat out. So this one's all belt. I thought I had a high and low range, but I don't. So I'm going to take this off and see what I can do about changing belt speed and doing it, be able to do it quicker. So I'm thinking of leaving a spanner on there. I think it's 21 mil. If I can get 21 mil on there and on there, just so that's a pivot. That's the pivot point there. So we just need to break that. Oh, I've got my shirt hooked. Then break that and then pull it forward. That'll loosen the belts off. Let me get this cover off. I'll get both sides off and we'll come back and have a look. Okay, I did it off camera. A little bit of buggerising around. It was set for AG, which is 2,400. That's why I was going so bloody quick. I've taken it back. 1,300 I think is a little bit too fast, so I've got it at 750. So that's not too bad. That's pretty good. I did have it at 600. But for some reason, when it's in that configuration, the belt wouldn't tighten properly. I don't know. I'll have to work that out. There's something up here. I can't see it, but it was pulled all the way around into the end of that slot. The belt was running. It wasn't too loose, but it could have been just a touch tighter. So now let me. They're locked. I'll get some shit sorted out here and then we'll come back. Alright, now I bolted this down. When I first move it, the needle jumps, but then it stays exactly parallel. I think it might be the gauge, but watch what happens when I go from one end to the other. When I start it, they just jump straight to 0, but when you go to the other end, still 0. That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm after. So I'm just going to go and get this thing out of the lathe and put it in, and then we'll start, see what I can do with it anyway. It's sort of softly at the moment because, you know, I don't want to screw this one up. There's too much machining in it to screw it up. I've still got plenty of size there, so if I do have a little bit of a problem within plus or minus half a mil or a mil, I'm fine. So stay tuned. Okay, what I've done is I've dialed in this end here. I'm probably going to block the light off. Dial this in, just watch it. I know it still does that little jump, but over the whole length it's about 0.01, which is 1/4 of a thousandth of an inch. Well, that's pretty good. Now we're going to see how crappy this other mill really was, and I'm going to just see how parallel that is. Let's see, 0. Should have enough length there. Oh, there you go. Almost 0.1718. So not very parallel, because when I did this it was perfect, and this is perfect, the other end. So that end, I'm pointing at shit and you can't see it, can you? Right, yeah, that end was perfect and the vise is perfect. So what I'm going to do is just touch here and just take a clean up cut, and it's going to be alright for one turn, but when I turn it for the other side I'm just going to have to take note of what's on here and how far, because I check these sizes right in the middle here. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. But let me get this side sorted and I'll turn it over and sort the other side, and we'll come back and have a look. Stay tuned. Okay, I've moved my light so it looks a little bit better, and let's see. I'm a little bit nervous, extremely nervous, but we'll see what happens. Let me sort this out. I forgot to sort this bullshit out. Sort that out and I'll bring you back. Stay tuned. Now, I got that sorted. It was just because there is a dowel, and when I loosened the clamp bolts and adjusted the thing, it moves just a fraction, so the dowel was about as useful as a ball of tits. So anyway, that looks pretty good now. The big problem is how I'm going to take that head back a little bit anyway, a little bit too far forward, so I'll sort that out. let me sit down and think about this for a minute, because I might take this, if I take this back out, I might put it back in the lathe and then go through it. I know that's parallel to that. Can you see what I'm pointing at? Yep. That's parallel to that. So if I measure it now and write on it how much I have to take off each side, then when I'll put it back in to do this side, and then I'll have to dial it up again, and that'll be up against there, so it'll be square. I don't think it's quite square that way, which doesn't really matter, because this table does rotate. So, well, it looks like it might be alright. I haven't dialed up because I don't really need to. Yeah, the table rotates that way, which is a good thing. So yeah, I might take that out now and check the other sides, so I know now, so I don't get confused. Just put a cross on that side so I know that's my reference, that's my datum for the rest of it. Alright, I'll do that and I'll bring you back. Alright, I did the same. That's me, where the X's are, that's me that I've just machined, and I went all the way around and I put the square up against the back of it, so I made sure it was dead square. That side needs 0.8, that side needs 0.8, that side needs 0.7. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in that way on that 0.7 side, so that'll be, well, actually it doesn't really matter which way I go, does it? I might actually put that on the bottom because I know that's parallel. I won't need to dial that up. So I'll do that and then take 0.8 off here. And then when I turn it, I'll have to dial the shaft to do these two sides. So that's what I'll do. Stay tuned. See, this one's not going to be straight either, because you see where I've just touched it there, and where I've backed off it's barely touching. So I've zeroed that. I might actually take that cut first and then I'll start doing the others, because I don't know how much it's going to take off here. Let's do it. Righto, I almost made a big boo-boo, because where I measured these up was about here, and I did a touch there. By the time I got there, I probably taken nearly half a mil. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it back out, put it back in the lathe, check it, and see now that that's parallel to that. Let's do that. Okay, I checked that, and I measured it, and it's perfectly parallel from there to there. So I checked that that's going to have 0.52 come off to bring it to the same position as this one. It was 30, 35.5, something like that. Yeah, so I haven't got much to take off it. Hang on, let me try that. $36.44, and we want to come down to about 34.7. So I've still got enough. Yeah, all right. That's set to 0. That's starting to make it. But there is an adjustment, it says spindle adjustment hole. So I'm guessing that'll take that. It's not anywhere near as bad as that other machine. This has only got just a touch. The other one was nearly bloody quarter of a turn, so I'm not going to complain. Alright, now I'm going to use these. I've got these 2 hours datum points. So I'm going to do it in the lathe again and check. These 2 sides should be the same, and I'll do the other 2 sides and mark how much I need to take off, and then I'll do that. Stay tuned, I'll bring you back in a minute. Alright, I've done that. This side 0.53 and the other side's 0.66, and these 2 sides are within about 0.03, so less than 1,000th of an inch, so that's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch it up here, right where I'll do it, and take the 0.53 from there. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. All right, let's do it. That one might be too bad, or I touched it or I backed it off. But you can see where it's back cutting down here. Still not flat that way, but I'm going to take it in 2 cuts just to be sure. To be sure. Alright, I'm going to take that out and just check it now for size. And that'll give me how much I need to take off each side to bring it down to size. So just give me a second, I'm going to ring Dan at Herod Forbes and I'll come back. I did a little bit off camera. I figured out this, putting it in the lathe, checking it, and then getting it square and then just bringing it down gradually. So it's just, like some of them are a little bit tighter than others. These won't go on at all, but I suspect it's just this radius here. I had to machine a little bit off it, but that's fine. Because once I do the other one, I'll sit it alongside and put all of the bits in. I've still got to machine the back end there on this one. I'm just going to take the parting tool in and just so it's parallel, like square with the rest of the shaft. That lathe, I'll do some video of that lathe when I do that one. It works great. This thing here I'm not so sure of. It works fine, worked great, but there's a lot of shit coming out where that belt is. There's more belt dust in there than I think there should be for something that's only been working for a couple of hours, but I'll take a photo of it and send that into them. So yeah, that's making progress. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put this in. I won't video it, you've seen it on this one. And machine it down, like just work out the final size and take off, you know, say 4 mil off each side. And then I'll check it in the lathe again to see, you know, make sure it's centre. And then I'll get it down to size for the others to fit. And I'll pull this apart, machine a little bit more off that. Just so because some of them they're a little bit hard to get on. That one's not too bad, but others, and you can see, let me zoom that in if I can. Right there, you can see that the edge of that radius. Yeah, I might just have to take some more off, just a little bit, doesn't need a lot. So making progress, slow but steady. That's the main thing. Yeah, so I'll sort this one out now and I'll bring you back when I've got this one finished, but I've got the whole lot together, and we'll go from there. Well, there we have it. They're not, like I said, these all got to sort all these cutters out so that they go in the right position, but they've got to come back off. Next thing is to make the clamps that go in here, so I'm going to have to machine that out deeper. Yeah, I'm going to make those and then strip these. Well, I've got to strip them anyway. Machine both these, make the retainers, and then I'm going to take, using I'm going to put all of these on and then skim them to make sure they're all true. Now I'm going to do the same with these. So progress finally, which is good, very good. Yeah, that's, I don't know if I didn't show that. That's good. Geez, that marks easy. A magnetic chuck. So I was considering putting these on the magnetic chuck on the mill and just taking a really light skim to get them all parallel. But I'm going to check them before I do anything. I'm going to take them off and measure them, and mark them, and see how far out they are, see whether it's worth it. I've got a couple of spares, so I might even play with those to see if it's going to be viable. It should be, because they've got to be right, because these, I want these to mesh in here fairly closely. You know, they've got to be pretty close to the same size. Let's see how that goes in. No, you can't see. Jesus, I'm an idiot. See how that goes in. So you'll have, that's where they'll be intermeshing. Like these have got to straddle each other. It's the easiest way to put it. They've got to straddle each other. So these need to be thick enough so that these will fit in between. Now that I've got the better machinery, I should have, you know, would have been better to do them then, because I would have been able to work to closer tolerances than with that other pieces of shit that I had. But anyway, we'll come back tomorrow, I think, and I'll start making these. I might even have to duck into town to get a bit of round stock and some bolts to get these done. Yeah, that'll be interesting, because I need to tighten those up FT. Friggin' tight. So, yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging around. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, good morning. The next day, I've been doing a little bit with every intention of bringing you back to have a look at, but I've just realised what I want to do. The only two pieces of round bar I could find is that one and that one. That one's a bit bigger. That one's a bit smaller, but I was going to weld them onto here like this. I've recessed it and then weld them and then machine the outside down a little bit. But these need to be a little bit thicker for the simple fact that I need space to put the bolts, because once I weld these in, I'm going to machine them all around the outside, then I'm going to split it, bolt them together, and then clean them up again, re-machine them. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck at what I want to do, but I'm going to go in because I want to get some 75mm round bar, just an offcut if they've got some, to make it a bigger diameter. So I'm going to get the bolts for these as well while I'm in there, and come up with something else, something a bit different, a bigger chamfer obviously, so I can get much more weld in there, because I'm going to machine that out 90 degrees. And I'm thinking, because they sit over like that, like I'm going to use these as clamps, so I'm going to machine the outside down, probably take, I don't know, 20mm off the outside, and then drill and tap 6 holes. I'm going to put 6 in each one, and I'm thinking I might bore it so there's a step. So when I machine this, I'm going to machine a step in it, but machine it a little bit smaller, so when I put the two outside bits on, they'll fit into that step and then clamp tight. So I want to make sure that's going to hold nice and tight and secure. So I'm going to go in. I know I've spent probably, I don't know, an hour on mucking around these, trying to find stuff. But for the sake of doing it properly, as I said before, I'm going to make sure I do the bloody thing properly. I'm going to go and get some more steel and some bolts. So yeah, and I've got to get new taps as well. Get a new some 10mm taps, some new ones. I've got a spiral tap when I bought all my stuff, 12mm, because it saves you a lot of dramas having to do tape like things. Because I need to finish taping that out. That's 12mm. I couldn't do it because the taps I had were blunt, so I've got to finish that off. I've got plenty of bolts for that. So I'm going to duck into town. When I come back, I'll show you what I've got, so we can get back into it again. Cut the steel off. I've got to make coolant up for this because I'm going to have to drill some holes. So I have to make up some coolant. I haven't got coolant in either of them yet because I just haven't had a need to use it, but now I do need it. I'm going to make it. So stay tuned. I'll bring you back when I've come back from Brooks Brothers. Alright, I'm back. I managed to score that from their off-cut bin. That's 70mm 4140. Although they charged me for precision ground, it's not, but it only cost me $10, $11 I think for that much. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces out of that. I've got my bolts. I've got to do M12 because I'm going to do these bigger. So I'm going to do M12, all of them, and the block nuts. These fucking $37 for 25 discs. Sometimes it is better to buy them on eBay, but anyway. And most importantly, I've got my coffee. Let's see if that helps. I'm starting to develop a friggin' headache, so I might go and edit this video and get it up. Since I haven't uploaded a video about this thing for a long time, and I know some of you that come over from Dion's channel like to see progress, and I will make some progress. I wasn't going to come out here tomorrow, but I think I will. Because I want to go. I'm going to go and buy some wood. I've got to make a cupboard for there. You can see a lot of that crap there is covered in swarf, or stuff for the lathe, for the mill. I've got stuff stacked on top of cupboards and shit everywhere. So I've got a bit of room here now. So I'm going to make a little cupboard here, because I've still got the 4-jaw chuck for the lathe out there. I've got all this shit here that I don't want to store on top of the lathe. So I'm going to do that the weekend, so it won't take me long to go and buy some timber tomorrow to knock that up on Saturday. So I don't know whether I'll do a video on it. I might. Yeah, but anyway, I'm starting to make steady progress, and I'm determined to get out here at least three to 4 days a week now to tear into this. Yeah, because I said I do want to make more progress. I want to get it finished, basically, but this is all the hard stuff. Once I get all this hard stuff done, I can start making the body, and then starting to do the finer details. So, you know, once I get that, I'll make the bottom, bolt everything onto it, like the gearbox, the drive shafts, everything else, bolt that all on, and then I can start making the top, because you know, these clamp ends, the body will fit over the top of that, so they'll be a little bit smaller. So yeah, but anyway, I'll get into that more when I come to it. So this video might be a little short, but I think it's time I uploaded one. And the lathe works great. I can actually run it hard enough to break chips, where I couldn't with the other one. And this whole setup is bloody good, because you know, I can move that and turn it, and you know, I've got tools in my quick change. I'm going to get a couple more quick change holders. So I've got my left and right hand tool, boring bar, my heavy duty one, which is that one, and I want one for my parting tool. So probably need another 2. They're not very expensive, they're only about $30 each, so I might get online and order that now. My other stuff from Heron Forbes should be here today. I bought some more tips, and I bought a bigger cutter. I bought a 6 cut and tip cutter, high rate like that one. So it'll probably help if I turn my lights and everything on, but anyway, when it comes to shit videos, I'm your man. So yeah, so that'll be here today. I paid for express postage, so you know, it's what is it? Is it 100mm diameter or no, 80mm, something like that. It's bigger than that one anyway. So anyway, that'll do. I'm waffling, aren't I? Alright, I'm gonna go inside, take something for this friggin' headache, start editing this video. But yeah, I'm starting to get really keen. I think we're going to start making some really good progress on this. But this bit here is going to be fiddly. Once I get it done, and I can clamp all these on, then I can start sorting these. Once these rotors are sorted, then it'll fly from there. So this is the one that's just taken so damn long, because it's just so fiddly. And with the letdown I had with the supply of these, like, you know, there's a couple of weeks of machining just frigging around with those where I shouldn't have had to, but anyway, you get that. So until next time, as always, you stay safe, hey? Peace. Okay, had to do a stop press. My new cutter finally showed up. Look at that, compared to that. The beast. Beautiful. And tips and spare screws. Should have bought 2 packets. It takes 6 of those to put just the 2. Oh shit. But I can use those 4 in that one. So you got, you know, 12 cutting edges on that one. And 18 on that. Yeah, very good. Okay, continue on.